So I was meditating this morning, and always when I think about confident, I think about my son. We moved 6 years ago from Israel to the state, and he didn't know English at all. And as a child, as a small child in kindergarten, he was really confident. He was free, he played with the boys, he played with the girls. He was really, really beautiful, shining little human being. And when we moved, it wasn't easy. When you move a country, sometimes fear can come. You don't know the language, different rules. And I remember that I met a teacher, and she talked about English and math. And I told her, I don't care about English. I don't care about math. He will know English eventually. He's smart. I only care about confidence. I want him to continue to trust himself. And this is the goal. This is our goal, that he will not belittle himself, that will not shrink or become small in life, that will continue to be his whole self, full and connected and confident. And it's amazing. She did it. She did it. I remember I came to visit in second grade before COVID hit. And now he's in sixth grade, and he was standing in front of the class giving a lecture in half English, half Hebrew. But the fact that he had the confidence to do it, I was so happy. And I'm thankful to her until today. So I didn't have that. And I want you to think about, of course, yourself. And the first time that we receive a mirror from another person is when we are born. So we go back, and I will ask you many questions about yourself. We are going to inquire. You can take a paper and a pen, or you can open a file to write a little bit, things that you want to write about yourself, or question that you want to think about later on. And I want to ask you, when you are born, what were you for your mom? Were you a gift? Were you a disappointment? Sometimes a boy is born. First boy, everybody happy. Second boy, okay. Third, they want a girl. And the opposite as well, girl, they want a boy, right? And back then, they couldn't know if it's a boy and a girl. So sometimes the energy is there. Oh, it's another boy. Oh, it's another girl. It's disappointing. I'm a disappointment, or I'm not wanted. Sometimes it's unwanted pregnancy, or it's a mistake, or I'm a prince, I'm a princess, I'm life itself. So this is the first interaction with human beings, is with your parents. And I'm saying mom and dad, but today it can be to mom, to dad. So forgive me, just change it in your mind. And then you can see people holding until today this imprint, the way they enter a room. Some people enter a room and I'm here. I'm here, and they're taking a lot of space, sometimes too much space, right? Talking a lot, talking too much. Other people, they're small, they like air. They just don't want anybody to talk to them, anybody to dance with them. They just want to disappear. And there is, of course, it's a scale. There is many other options. So I want you to think first about your imprints from your dad and your mom about I equal what. And it can be different from mom to dad. And it depends also sometimes where are you if you are the fourth, the sixth child, maybe the father didn't want another child. Maybe it's a burden, maybe it's too much, maybe, or they're waiting for you. So this is very important, because we'll talk about today all the ingredients that we need in order to be a leader. And when I'm talking about a leader, some people are a quiet leader. It doesn't mean that you need to be noisy, but a leader to others, inspiration, and a leader to yourself. And this is the most important thing. So one ingredient is the imprints of being loved and accepted by your parents and wanted. The second thing is the mind, what the mind needs in life. The mind responsible on survival in life. And we really need our minds, to know what is right and wrong, to be in reality, to be connected, to accumulate information and knowledge. It's important, right? We need a parent to lean on, to feel safe. So one of the parents, sometimes it's the mom, sometimes not, it's the child need to know that if he will fall, somebody will catch him or her. He's not alone. I didn't have that. My father left when I was 4. Parents divorce. I'm alone. It doesn't matter that he's in another city. He didn't disappear. He didn't die. But for a child, I need to take care of myself now. He will not catch me anymore. Fear. So the second ingredient, we need a parent or an adult that we know is there all the time, 24/7, also at night, that when you have bad dreams, and they're there for you. Safety. The second thing we need from a parent or an adult that is always there is unconditional love. Just to know that you have, sometimes it's the mom, like she's soft, she's loving, she's forgiving. Sometimes it's the dad, it depends. It doesn't have to be the mom, but you know that you are loved anyway, even if you make mistakes, even if you're not a good girl, right? Or your grades are not the best, you are loved. Unconditional love. Don't worry if you didn't get that. This is why you are here, probably. And we'll talk also how to get to this state, the inner state, and to do the work. So if you don't feel safe and you need to protect yourself, what will happen in a certain age, that you'll start to be your own protector. And part of you will become stronger, in control, sometimes separating you from people, and you do what is needed from you. You do more what you need than what you want to do. And I want you again to think, the second question is, did it happen to you that you felt that your mind started to be in control, that you felt fear? And if it happened to you, what age? For me, it happened in the age of 4, as I said. Sometimes it's 6, 12. Lucky people, 22, I heard 27. Sometimes people say to me, I always remember myself in control. I always had this mechanism of thinking, checking, being alert, right? So I want you to start to bring that and to write, like when my mind took over, when I didn't feel safe. And sometimes we are saying to ourselves, we had great parents, we felt safe, we had everything. But then the symptoms are there of a person that is controlling himself and limiting himself, not crying freely, not dancing freely, not sharing freely, criticizing others, criticizing yourself. If you have the symptoms, go back. When did it start? And then it means that you didn't feel safe. It doesn't have to be the parents. It can be something that happened to you at school, in life. Unfortunately, many things can happen to a child. And then you understand that you are alone and you need to take care of yourself. Okay, so we talked about imprints, mom and dad, the 2 mirrors that we received when we are born, really, really influence the self-confidence. We talked about feeling safe and knowing that if you fall, someone there will catch you. If you'll cry at night, somebody will come to tell you that you are safe. And when you are sick, somebody will take care of you. And unconditional love from a parent, and that you know that you are loved and seen. Yeah. If you didn't have one of those, so probably your mind took over very early, because you felt, the mirror, I'm not good enough. The mirror, I'm not wanted, already can turn on the survival mode, right? The relationship with the parent, that you need to be a good student or a good child, or to behave and not to be rude. Oh, he's not accepting me. These parents didn't accept the whole you. And kids can be kids. If you have kids, if you know kids, they can, have meltdowns. They can be angry. I love it. I mean, so powerful, right? They can use really extreme words from, when they're emotional, and we're supposed to accept and also sometimes give boundaries. But if they didn't accept the whole you, and they send you to the room too much, or this is okay, but this is not, you are trained, you understood that you need to be someone in order to be loved, tuck, the protector is coming. Okay, who should I be? How should I behave? So we don't need a lot to lose our self-confidence. I'm saying self-confident, but we'll talk also about the difference between confident and courage. Some people here are highly confident. They can give lectures at work, presentation. Raise your hand if you're like that. Confident at work. Yeah, good. I'm happy for you. But still, are you courageous? And this is totally different. Courage is to dance freely, to cry free, to be creative, to be vulnerable, to share, to connect. This is courage. So some people are courageous but not confident. And other people are confident but not courageous. Raise your hand if you are courageous, if you are free. So you don't need to be here. So basically, we want both of them, right? We want everything. So confident and like holding yourself, giving yourself freedom to speak. Confident, I call it in the mind. The mind is confident, and being courageous is a bit harder. It's to take risks. The mind calls it risks because if I open up and I get hurt, it's painful. We don't know what will be the response of somebody else when we are open. So we want to get there, but all those things that I talked about can really hurt the confidence or hurt the courage. And then we become smaller. Now, I always, with my kids, it was very, very important for me. We started with Romy, that he will not care what people think. And I don't know, but I talked a lot about that with him, you know. And today it's too much. I need to teach them the opposite. Care what people think a little bit. We want the balance. Just it's not only about you. Just care. So the balance between the being aware. But in the beginning, you want them to really be loyal to themselves, to get to know themselves, to get to know what they love, what they don't love, to get to know the gifts that they receive in this lifetime. Right? Every kid receives different gifts of the body, of the creativity, of the mind, just to really be loyal and not to care. And the reason it's very important not to care what other people think without hurting them, right, is because your happiness will never you will never receive your happiness from other people, mirrors. Other people mirrors are changing all the time. One time you are great, other time you are disappointing. And it always will change. It will never be good enough. They want more and more. This is one. The second, even if you find those few people that love you and accept you, and they will tell you that you are lovable and you are talented, if you say different things to yourself, if you belittle yourself, you will not believe them. So many people, time I work with women or teenagers, it's so clear there. She's beautiful. She's really beautiful. She got a gift of beauty, and everybody tell her you're beautiful, but she's saying to herself, I'm ugly. She even upset when somebody tells her she's beautiful. She's upset. What he wants from me? What she wants from me? Like she's trying to judge, starting to judge the compliment. So this is the thing that also other people mirror will not help, unfortunately. You see it with kids that you try to tell them how beautiful they are inside and out, and sometimes they're still very small because they're hurting themselves. So when we talked about leadership, if you are in your center, in your power, you can lead others easily. But the most tricky thing is to lead yourself. Soon we'll go there, even though it's a bit complicated to explain in a short time, but we'll go there. If you have questions until now, if I'm not clear, if I just change a subject and something that I said before is interesting for you and you want to dive deeper, raise your hand. I love it. Please, because then it will be more interesting for me. I'm talking about those things for 21 years. I'm working with people since I was very young. Today I'm 47 years old, not today, but now. And I'm always teaching the same, different examples and more experience. But I love people and I love interaction. So please raise your hand if you can. So you already thought of so I want you first to understand the source. You're not born like that. You're not born with your mind belittling you. You're not born with not being confident or being able to lead. When did it happen to you? You shifted for a smaller place. You feel imprisoned. You feel small. You feel that there is a force inside you that limits you. and hurt your happiness, right? We don't have so many years. I always say that. How many years we have to live here in this planet, in this beautiful and challenging place? Not many years, right? 40, 50, maybe 70, maybe 20, maybe a month. I don't know. We don't know. Everybody will die successfully. How do you want to live this time, to be here? Do you want to hide or do you want to shine? And I think that the inner work is so important. I mean, I had so much trauma and so many things that my karma basically was to not to be here, not to teach, not to change my life, maybe not even to get married and be a mother with my imprints and karma. And I really believe in change. I really believe in creating reality and in potential. And I think we can get there. I believe in people. I really believe that if I could do it, everybody can do it. Everybody, and why not? It's the most important thing in your life. Then you are bigger, you are happier, and all the people around you are happier. And if you have kids, you need to do it because you're the example. And we can change and influence them in any age because you are still their parents until you die. So basically, if you change, if you evolve, they will evolve. They believe in change. I last week I was very brave and I went with my son. He's in sixth grade for a field trip in Mount Lassen without reception for a week with 29 kids. And it was interesting for me. It stretched I mean, I need to be there fully and a very, very strong experience. And I saw the gifts when I talked about kids, like children gifts, how different kids there receive different gifts. Some are very strong. They just went to the top of the mountain. Not me. I was very slow. It was very challenging. Other people got the gift of creativity. They took some leaves and stone and made a beautiful thing. Or sketch, they sketch in the top of the mountain. And the kids very smart, like they ask all kind of questions about the volcanoes and things. And you see the beauty, there, and you see the kids that are there and are confident, and you see the other kids that are in their mind and they're getting hurt or they're seeking for attention and then they're really loud in order to get attention and then they're getting hurt, or the introverted that are just hiding and you hardly hear them. And it was like a map of the world for me in 29 kids that I could see everything I teach and all kinds of personalities. And of course, I tried to do my best to encourage the one that needed some more support or needed to be a little bit more aware about their behavior. And it's beautiful to start in this age, so young and so open. So I'm wondering about you, especially people that I don't know here. What happened? What is your life story? What is the journey of your soul? And then why you are here? What do you feel that you can, like, in a way, when you look at yourself, when you have a vision about yourself in 5, 10 years, you can start in a year, 5 or 10. How do you imagine yourself? When I work with someone and I train people to work with people, we are holding a vision. I'm telling them, hold a vision for this person. Can you see her? More colorful, more free, more confident, grounded, happier, smiling, looking at people's eyes, touching freely, like connected to her needs. Or him, can you see yourself like that? And I think this is the thing that helped me in the inner work, that I always knew that it cannot be it. I said it can't be. It's not, I was miserable when I was a teenager. And I said, it can't be. This is not life. I'm missing something. And I always knew something is missing. And it's like a riddle. How can I become this woman, this girl, this person that I can? So I want you also to think about if you are a servant, if you are small, if you are weakening yourself, how you will be if it will change. how it will be in like how your relationship will change with others, what you will allow yourself more to be, what to do, what kind of freedom do you want? If you have freedom, inner freedom, first of all, what do you do with it? Yes, I love working with fear. Fear is the base of everything that I said. You see a negative mirror from a parent's fear, right? You move a country, fear. Your parents divorce, fear, right? Something bullying at school, fear. Parents is not accepting you, fear. Of course, violent at home. All of those things, fear. And then we are starting to take our decision out of fear. And we want, and this is the movie, and then we start serving other people. And I think it's connected. When your mind is strong and you're acting out of fear in life, you're starting to comply other people. You'll serve other people. And basically, I will tell you the truth, you will not get a medal in the end. In the end of your life, nobody will give you a medal for that. You'll be sick earlier. Because basically, I love giving, and I think to give, it's important in life, but to give from a full tank, to give when you have. It doesn't have to be full, it's never totally full, but when you have, when you are happy, you're content, you truly see other people. You give without calling it giving because you have space. You connect. You see if somebody needs something. It's easy. If somebody is thirsty, you give him a glass of water. If somebody is sad, you give him a hug. You're available. But some people are giving out of condition. They are conditioned to give, to be a servant, to comply others. Sometimes it starts really early that this was your job in your family, in your origin. Like you had to give, you took care of the family, of your parent or a sibling too early. You really, it was important for you that there will be harmony in the house, and you really like worked a lot for that. Many stories, so many stories and examples of kids that needed to give up, not being loyal to themselves and comply others. Maybe a sibling that was sick and took all the attention. Maybe just a sibling that was stronger, in his personality and took too much space, or a parent that took a lot of space and you didn't have enough. And then we become small, we comply other people, we care what other people think about us. And the most hurtful thing is if part of us needs to mature too early and to become this protector and start to lead your life, we're usually doing it in few ways, and I'm going to name the 7 ways, techniques basically, for the protector to control you. Because it's not natural for a child not to be free, not to be in the center. I don't know if you look sometimes in the play yards or you look at kids and you see kids that are still in dream world. They're still free. They are open. Everybody are friends. They are going and, they're not afraid to interact with all kinds of kids. They're playful, they're fun. They are open. They're totally open. Sometimes they are not extrovert. They are introvert, but very confident. You can see that as well. So, but you can see those kids, and I can see those kids, right? And then suddenly you realize, you get a situation or a mirror that you are not safe, that you are not accepted, that you're not loved. And then part of you needs to be strong, to protect yourself, to mature in one day, basically. And for that to happen, it's a strong force. It's a really shift in your personality. You start to use all kind of techniques to do that. This part, the mind, needs to use techniques in order to control the heart, the freedom, to put this free spirit into the bottle, right? Now, sometimes it's gradual, sometimes it's sudden, and some people don't know what I'm talking about right now because it happened to them so early, so they don't remember freedom. Freedom is not like, what do you mean? And there are 7 ways for the protector to control the free spirit are. And I want you to raise your hand if you can, if you identify with that. So if you can turn on the camera, I will be really thankful. It will be really nice to see you, but you don't have to. The first is to tell yourself you're not good enough, belittling yourself. Do you do that to yourself? Sometimes. Raise your hand. Very common. Thank you, Yar. So basically, this is hurting the leadership. This is hurting the confident. A voice in your mind that tells you you're not good enough. Don't come out. Don't show yourself. You'll get hurt. This is one technique. The second is fear and anxiety about life. Just to scare yourself. Life is dangerous. Fear about the future. Anxiety. Do you have that? Raise your hand. You can raise over Zoom as well if you're with camera off. Okay, good. Not good, but good that you're sharing. Thank you. So fear and anxiety. The third is to blame yourself. Why did you do this? Why didn't you do that? Guilt. Do you have that? This is one of the worst. I think to feel guilt and blame, it's so painful. And you know what? It's not your fault. It's really not your fault, right? Think about the beginning. For sure, it's not your fault, right? What happened to you as a child and your parents. And then everything is out of that anyway. And you are doing the best you can in each moment. It's the best you can. Maybe it's not the best. Probably it's not the best. We're evolving all the time. We're trying to get better all the time. But it's the best you can. So to blame yourself, it's so hurting. It's so belittling. The fourth is to tell yourself you're confused. You don't really know what you want. Raise your hand. This is the worst of the 7. You win because confusion can really block life. Now, the free child, the free spirit, if you have it in your vision, if you have yourself as a child, as a free child, as a vision, take that. If not, think about somebody else. A free child knows what she wants. She knows. She just know. I ask Emma, she's 8 years old soon in a few days. So basically I ask her, do you want to eat that or this? She knows. You want to play with this girl or that? She knows. You want to be outside or indoor? She knows. She just knows everything about herself. And this is the confident, right? You just know. I mean, it's her. Only her knows. I cannot know, right? But then the part that's trying to limit you, hello, try to limit you, want you to be confused, and then you feel like, I'm confused, I don't know, I'll take a right, I'll take a left, and by the time you are thinking, life continues. And that's what this part of protective try to do, to slow you down, right? A person that do a lot, right, and go and eat life can also get hurt. When you run, you fall and you make mistakes and you hurt people. It's messy, it's colorful, but it's alive. The mind tries to protect you from all that, right? And then confusion, it's a perfect technique to slow you down, to really make you small and to limit your potential, that you will not be a leader, that you will not get hurt. There are 3 more, but less common. There is one, tell you that you are crazy or get crazy. Like some people tell themselves, I'm crazy. It's only manipulation. It's usually not true. There is pills. Some people take pills to numb themselves. I hope you don't, but we can work with that as well. And sometimes, so one more I forgot. Let's see, Ara, if you remember, I trained you, Amelia. Huh? There is one more. Okay, I remember. I hope you also remember. Ignoring yourself, and then letting yourself do something like eating too much. Suddenly you are in front of the fridge eating, or drinking too much, or just 3 hours stuck on the screen. Yeah. The mind is not there. You're enjoying yourself, not really enjoying, but thinking that you're enjoying. There is freedom to do something like that. And then the mind comes and say, look what you did. You wasted the day. Look at you. You ate too much. Again, this is something that really, really belittles. You don't want to do it to yourself. You don't want to do it to others as well. But many times when we are serving and serving and serving and serving, in the end of the day, the only thing that we have is the food or the screen or the cigarettes, or depends, and then you are stuck with that. And it's many times it can come together, depends of the personality. So I can speak forever, and I'm already speaking for 30 minutes, my gosh. I'm really wanting for you. You can share things. You can share also, your involvement and change. You can ask questions. You can just ask me to dive into something specific. I will just talk a few more minutes about inner leadership, because I promised. So when you are confident and in your essence and not limiting yourself, you can lead others, but also you want to learn to lead yourself. And sometimes it can come first, not always. Leading yourself, it's from the center. We talked a lot about the protector, about the mind, and we talked about the heart, the free spirit, right? The creativity, the freedom. But we didn't talk yet about another part of us that I call the center, the higher self, that basically supposed to drive in the car of your life. You don't want as an adult that the free spirit will always drive. The heart likes adventures and colors. And I just met somebody like that all the time moving from job to job and from partner to partner and from country to country, just excited. It's tiring. So you don't want that also to lead, but you for sure don't want the protector to lead, because then to drive, because then he's scared and he's holding, the wheel like that and afraid from an accident. Uh, so we call the center, the higher self, is the leader that we are looking for, and this leader can really say sometimes to the thoughts and to the feelings, not now. A thought is coming, not now. Now I'm present. Not later, maybe. We like to think, right? If we need to think, but not now. And sometimes the heart is coming, I want chocolate, not now. And this is the inner leadership that I usually help people to reach, is the part that can really see everything. See the mind, see the thoughts, see the feelings, and see everything like guests. There are so many guests, and this is your home. Basically, this is your home, right? This is your temple. And guests are coming all the time. And we love guests. I love chocolate. I love ice cream. We love guests, right? But not all the time. We cannot serve and serve all our guests. It's tiring. We have guest rooms, but we want to decide when to say yes and when to say no. And meditation can help you do that. So I promise also a little bit to talk about how to change and shift this state. So, of course, as you know, if you know me, you know that I really believe in daily practice, and I really believe in hard work in order to reach and to change. I don't believe in going once a week to the best practitioner in the world for an hour, because even if and it's great, do that if you can, but it will not really shift your personality, because you need to work daily. It's something, it will help in many, many other ways, but if you train yourself daily, something meaningful will change. It's like the body. If you want to be in shape, you go, maybe not every day, right? I was a little bit extreme, maybe 3 times a week, but you'll go to the gym, or you go to swim, or you'll hike, or you'll do whatever you want, or strength training, just to get stronger. Just talking about and reading about it will not help, right? Understanding will not help you. It's only the beginning. So, as you know, Amit believes in daily practice, and also I did it for many years and still practicing. In order to move, first of all, from the mind to the heart, we want to do emotional work. There are all kinds of practices. Meditation, it's a really wide word. So in order to be more specific, and if you don't have a practice yet, you can book 15 minutes with me. Here is the link. And we'll talk about all kinds of meditation. The meditation that will helping with the mind, to calm the thoughts. We have labeling meditation, if you know already. And there are all kinds of meditation that you are just letting the thought pass by. This is a practice that we want to do. Sometimes it's very hard to sit by yourself, and you need a group to build your practice. But this is great. There are meditations that are more emotional, because we talk about courage, right? Before we said confident and courage. So courage is in the heart, is in the body. The body wants to move forward, and then you're holding yourself back. So the courage is still in your body, and the energy. So we want some emotional meditation, like dynamic and kundalini, all kind of things. So basically, each person needs different kinds of meditation, and there are beautiful meditation around the world, like Vipassana, Transcendental, and others. But we need to use the right meditation for us in order to move to our next step. So